I'm recording now. So by the end of the session, you'll be able to identify the top 4 most important Zoom functions for hosting a meeting, explain best practices for audio and video when hosting a meeting, describe how to invite participants to a Zoom meeting, and how to locate resources for independent practice so you can learn Zoom on your own. So we are not going to do breakouts because there are only 3 of you. But so we'll each share, tell us your name and your level and site where you taught, and what you are looking forward to about summer English Zoom classes. And I'll give you a second to think about that. Won't put you on the spot. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Okay. Karen, I'm going to make you a co-host for good measure. Okay, Karen, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us what you're looking forward to about the summer.
I'm just looking forward to learning about Zoom and trying something new. I'm being a lifelong learner, and I'm just interested to see how it's all going to go.
How about you, Zach?
So I was teaching beginning level, and I'm just looking forward to trying facilitating with Zoom. I've been to a lot of Zoom meetings, but I've never facilitated with it. So looking forward to learning how to do that.
It's a different skill set. If you're confident as a participant, it comes quite easily, the hosting. How about you, Kamini?
Hi, my name is Kamini, and during the spring session, I did volunteering with Maria at ESCON on Columbus and 22nd Street, and both of us were teaching the beginning level course. And what I'm looking forward to is just meeting the students again and see like how they're doing and how they're coping with the pandemic, and also learning about the technology. I think it'll be great.
How about you, Jeannie? You're muted, Jeannie. Let's see, let me unmute you from the participants.
I did.
There you go, you got it.
Yeah. I teach advanced beginning at Wakefield. And what I'm looking forward to is just this little group of women or men, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be women, but I'm picturing women because that's mostly what we have, of people who just, we have the time to help them talk, to just let them talk and talk and talk and talk. And that, to me, sounds really exciting because I think we can build a lot of confidence and a lot of, I just think they're going to make huge strides in that. And that seems to be a huge thing that my people at that level want, is they want to be able to speak. And so I think a small group is just going to be, I'm just adapting to that. It's like, okay, we'll just see where we go.
Yeah, it feels kind of freeing to have it, this new approach where it's just focused on fun and conversation and seeing what happens.
Yeah, because they can't really take little bits of vocabulary and feel as confident as when they can put it in a whole phrase.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what it's like to I've taught online, but that was with international students at the university who had lots of access to technology and, so I'm really interested to see what this is like to do everything on this one platform with students who are using phones or, different technology. So it's going to be a challenge. Looking forward to it. So our top here, I'm gonna unmute you all. because we're such a small group. That's why you can just talk. So our top 4 functions that we're going to focus on, and we're going very, very slowly with this. We're going to build on this next week, and then we'll build on it the week after that. So these are just the very basics. And in this meeting, I'm going to show you where the things are. Your homework is to download Zoom, create an account if you haven't already, and you're going to practice on your own with a family member or a friend. So tonight, this is just an orientation to where things are and how they work, and then you're gonna practice this week.
So, Kate, real quickly.
Yeah.
So when you say create an account, is it going to be the info that you guys sent out, or should I just create my own?
Good question. We are still coordinating the details of the accounts that will be assigned to each person. So in the meantime, just create your own personal account if that's okay. And then you can use that for personal calls and things too.
I have one.
Yeah, so for this week, it will be your personal accounts. Next week, we'll be able to give you those LC accounts. Okay, so our first function is to mute or to stop video. So why might you want to mute yourself or stop your video?
So they can hear the speakers?
Sure, to prevent background noise and weird echoes.
But also on the video so they can, yeah, so they can hear other people speaking, not just me all the time.
Sure. Yeah, stepping back from the teacher role, letting them speak. Yeah, what else?
A lot of times when you're working with adult students, their kids or their pets or barking dogs or doorbells may be in the background. So if you mute yourself, they don't hear all that background noise.
Yeah, exactly. It's the insurance policy against unexpected noises, like the garbage truck or an airplane or dogs or children or whatever. Why might you want to stop the video?
So does that mean if we're recording, then we stop the video, or what do you mean stop video?
Let's look at it. Good question. So
Stop.
let's see. Let
Ah,
me show you so this is a screenshot of my screen. And down here you see stop video. You
Yeah.
have that on your screen too. Everybody click it right now, see what happens. Oh. Okay, come back.
I get it. I see.
So why would you want to do that?
I don't know.
Zach, what do you
Well,
think?
I think
Maybe to like maintain the focus, like if you're trying to show a slide or something to call people's attention to, or yeah, just to maintain the focus.
Sure, to maintain focus on a PowerPoint or something.
Yeah.
Other ideas?
I think the other thing that I've used it for is if I need to get a drink of water or use the restroom or
Oh,
I don't know, do something. I can turn off the video, but you can still hear the audio. So I can still hear what's going on. And then when I come back and am ready to go, then I just turn the video back on.
Yeah, it's kind of a way of maintaining privacy in this new weird time when we're all in our homes. So for example, if you need to get up and get a drink of water or go to the bathroom, you can turn off your video and take your device with you and save yourself, keep your professionalism intact by turning off the video. Did you hear about the woman when Zoom, everyone was first on Zoom, she took her laptop into the bathroom when she was going to the bathroom and didn't turn off the video or mute herself?
oh,
Yeah. And so, of course, somebody took a screenshot of it and it went viral and
Wow.
poor woman. So let that be a lesson to you.
The other night we did an info session for new people who are interested in volunteering with with Literacy Connects. And Susan Freese on our staff is our kind of MC. And she just put a disclaimer out at the very beginning that said her husband is an ER doctor and that he will be coming home during our presentation and takes everything off in the laundry room and then goes to the house to get to the shower. So she just was warning everybody that she may have to turn her video off when he's going through the house. So it does serve a purpose.
So let's look at that again. Your mute is down here in the bottom left, and your stop video is right there too. Okay, the participants list. Well, let's look at it first. So your participants list is here. You see that at the bottom of your screen. And when you click it, you should get a list of all of us that are in the call. Everybody see that?
Yep.
Great. So for participants, it's not so useful. You can tell me, you can click the coffee, I need a coffee break, or thumbs up, thumbs down, go faster. But for me as the host and for Karen as the host, I can, from this window, I can mute you, I can turn off your video, I can kick you out, I can allow you to record. There are all these host functions over here. So that's something that you will play with when you are practicing with your family or friend. But again, to find it, it's just participants right here. So that way, when you're teaching your class, if your student has a naked baby running around behind them or whatever, husband with their shirt off, you can turn off their video from the participants list. Okay, so that's a way of, if the students are new to the technology, they may not know how to mute and turn off their video and stuff. So that's a way for us as teachers to moderate that. Questions about that? The other thing about it is that it provides another layer of security. We're going to talk about security settings in next week, but this video here, or this photo shows us what the participants list is also good for, is we need to be able to recognize all of the names in the participants list. And if there's somebody that looks sketchy or that, there's an extra person in there, somebody who's creepy and lurking, then we know that we can remove that, or, ask who are you and then kick them out if they're somebody sketchy. It's unlikely that sketchy people will get into our accounts because of the default security settings we're going to put in place on the Literacy Connects accounts. But just so you know, that's how you kick someone out.
And how do we kick them out on this one? I don't see that button. It's under.
Yeah, you won't see it because you're not a host. When you're practicing and you have, you're in your own account and you're hosting the meeting, then you'll see it.
I see.
Other questions?
So, okay, so if, so you are seeing, everyone in my class will see these, like to mute and all that on participants, or only the host? Because I'm a little mixed up if with the one where you can kick someone out, you'll see that because you're the host. Yeah. But will everyone in my class have that same participants list?
They have the same list, just like you do, but they don't have all of those options.
I see. Okay.
My options are different from your options as a participant.
Okay.
It's hard to go through it like this. The practice, it's going to all become clear when you're practicing.
Yeah. Can I try and kick out someone?
Okay. See what happens.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean like to turn off a microphone. No, I can't.
See if you can do that.
Okay, so all this shows me is who has it on and who has it off. That's really, okay, I can't operate those. Okay.
Whereas I can, watch this. I'll turn off your video.
Okay, that's good. I get it. Yeah.
And now you can turn it back on. I guess I can't turn it back on for you.
Okay.
There you go. Nice.
So
recording. As as a teacher, why might you want to record the session?
If you have students that aren't able to make it to a class, you can record it so they can view it later.
Yeah, yep. If you have students who aren't able to make it to class, you can record it and then share it with them later. It could also be that students might want to watch the session again to get more practice, or to repeat something that they missed. So that's a really great option. I plan on recording my own so that I can watch myself teaching, because this is such a new platform for me. That's going to be a really important way for me to see what I need to change and what I can adapt. I'm not looking forward to it, but I think it will be useful. We had questions in the first session about whether or not students can record. And in that same participants list, I have, as the host, I can give people permission to record. So for example, well, I could give you all permission to record. I'm going to ask Jennifer about whether or not we want to be doing that. On the one hand, I could see students recording to study on their own. On the other hand, we need to be careful about respecting students' privacy. It may be that some people really don't want anyone to have them recorded for a variety of reasons. So I'm going to check with Jennifer and get an official policy on that. When it does record, it's pretty easy to find the recording. It takes a second, it thinks about it for a little while and converts it, and then it just makes a new folder on your computer. And from there you can upload it to YouTube or to Google Drive or however you want to share it. And when you get to that point, you can contact me with questions. Questions about all that?
Yeah, I have no idea how to do that. So that was,
yeah. It's all, like, it doesn't make any sense until you're actually doing it yourself. So don't worry about it right now.
Okay.
Screen share will be very useful in our classes. We've heard from some of our pilot teachers that they have been creating PowerPoints, and then that's basically their whiteboard. They share the PowerPoint and have all of their texts and their dialogues and things like that on the PowerPoint. So in order to screen share, I'm going to show you what it looks like. You also have this on your screen right here. It says share screen. Everybody see it? And when you click that, it pops up this window. And Zoom is kind of cool, kind of frustrating, because it only shares the thing that you select. So these are all of the things that are open on my computer. And I have selected only to share this. So you can't see all this other stuff. You can only see the PowerPoint that I'm sharing. Let me see if I can, I'm gonna stop sharing. I wonder if I can allow you all to screen share. I don't know how to do that. Sorry. That is something that you can experiment with when you are practicing with your family.
So if we click on screen share now, I got that same screen that you were sharing.
Try it, see what happens.
I did. That's what I got.
Did you click on something in that screen?
And I just clicked on the green button that says screen share.
And in that next screen, click on something. Ooh.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing Karen's screen.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, what do I have up? I don't see anything. I just see
It's just
screen
your
share.
desktop.
Oh.
Let me see if I can stop it. There we go.
Okay.
So you click on the share screen button. Let me go back to that, the PowerPoint here.
Oh, I wonder.
So
if
when you click screen share, then you get this. Then you select one of these things, and then it shares it with everyone.
I wonder if you got my screen because you said I'm a co-host.
Oh yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. Questions about screen share. That's another one that you'll just need to play with.
So it looked to me like Karen could not see her desktop on the screen share. Is that right? Karen, you couldn't see it?
No, I didn't see anything.
So when we're sharing the screen, we can't see it?
You can. I'm not sure what happened there. So for example, I'm seeing exactly what you're seeing on my screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Other questions? Okay. So best practices for audio and video. Next week, when we called, we asked everyone if they were interested in participating in these small learning groups that we're going to create of volunteers. And those will be opportunities. So the idea is that the 3 or 4 volunteers will schedule a time to get together on Zoom. And that will be your place to experiment with all of these functions so you can get comfortable with them before classes start. So that will be really important, playing with your audio and your video, learning how to troubleshoot, practicing all of those top 4 functions that we just looked at. So that will be a safe space to explore and practice. And we already talked about these other 2 about when and why you might want to mute or turn off video. This image at the bottom here, this is another example of a funny thing that happened and went viral. This was a staff meeting, and this is the boss, and she somehow turned herself into a potato, and she couldn't undo it. And so this guy took a screenshot and put it all over the internet. So if you feel at risk for turning yourself into a potato accidentally, experiment with that beforehand. This is actually from a Snapchat app. A friend told me about it. It's something that you download and it makes you do crazy things. Pretty funny. Pretty funny.
I don't know. Sounds pretty threatening to me.
Yeah, high stakes.
Oh, no.
Okay, so let's talk about best practices. If you were a student, how would you feel about this image from your teacher?
Small.
Small. Would it be easy to concentrate? What's wrong with this view? Karen? Are you raising your hand,
bright
Karen?
Light shining at you, you feel you want to look away.
Yeah, so I'm backlit, so you can't see my face and it's hard on your eyes. What else?
Her fan is like mine.
Yeah, yeah, the fan is distracting. And what else?
She's looking.
Yeah, you can see up my nose. Not so pleasant. So this is, I'm including this because we have seen this in our Zoom meeting with volunteers, that especially people on smaller devices kind of forget that the video is on, and so they'll put down the device and then be like that. So it's just good to remember to always check how your video looks. Even though it's very bizarre to be seeing your face all the time on the video, it's good to make sure the view is good for students. Here's another example. We see this a lot. So it's really easy. You just adjust your laptop angle. And now I don't know what I look like. There we go. Just trying to make the best possible situation for our students. It's important to have the light in front of you if you can. I know some of the pilot teachers have moved around their lights in their room where they're teaching, so they've got nice light shining on them. This is not ideal because it's coming down from the top and I've got weird shadows, but you just want to avoid being backlit like that because that makes it very hard to see. Questions about lighting and views?
I also heard that if you're old, you should have your laptop up higher so that you're not looking down and have a double chin.
Yeah, we were talking about this in our team meeting of like, it's so bizarre to be seeing our faces all the time and how I'm always like trying not to, I'm trying to adjust the level. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, kicking it up a notch, scheduling and inviting. It is much easier to schedule and invite from the Zoom app than from the Zoom webpage. So it's easy to tell. So the Zoom app kind of sneakily downloads itself. So it may already be on your computer. I'm going to show you how to check if it's on your computer. Are you seeing my nice background with the trail?
Yes.
Mountains. Okay.
Yep.
So down here in your search bar, all I have to do is search for Zoom. And if it's there, it's going to pop up. That means that it downloaded itself somehow. If you don't have it, then that means you haven't yet created an account. So you'll need to go to the Zoom website, just Google Zoom, and click sign up, it's free. And by the way, I'm going to email you a document with all of this in it. So for extra credit, I recommend that you download the app on your phone because the majority of our students are going to be using their phone. So it will be important for us to know what it looks like on the phone so that we can help students troubleshoot. But also, many of our students don't use email. So when I'll show you how to schedule on the computer, but it's going to be hard to get that computer invite to the students on text because most of them text rather than using email. So that's another reason to download the phone app. Again, that's extra credit. If you decide to take that on, I'll help you out. So let's look at how to do it on the computer. I go to my Zoom app. Oops, you can't see. We need to go back to this.
I do see a tiny Zoom app down there.
Yeah. So are you now seeing a screenshot?
Yes.
Yes.
So when I go into my Zoom app, I see this. And if I want to schedule a meeting, I just click schedule. Very easy. I get to this screen. And this is where I can give it a name. I change the date, the duration. For classes, I can click recurring meeting, and then it's the same link every time. So I don't have to create a new meeting, a new link every time. I basically just have to do it once and then share I'm going to keep sharing that link with my students in case they forget, but I don't have to recreate it every time. The default for Zoom now is that the meeting requires a password. And the default is for video to be off. But you all were able to turn on your video. It just means that you as the participant, you have to turn on your video. It's not automatically on. Oops. Clicking this allows people to use their telephone audio or their computer audio, depending on what device they're on. And then the calendar, if you have one of these, you can make Zoom automatically create a calendar invite for your calendar. But that's not super important. So then I click schedule. Click schedule. And then I get to this screen. Oops. I want to share the invitation. So I just go copy invitation. And that's when I get this, which is the thing you recognize from your Zoom invites. I only send from here to here. I stop after the password. All of the rest of this is for people who are just calling in on their phones. They're not using the app. They're only using voice on their phones. I actually don't know much about the phone thing. I need to learn more about it. But what I've heard is that it's toll. They're not free numbers. They're not 1-800 numbers. And so they're less accessible for folks unless they're actually in those area codes. So I stop right here after the password. And then I can copy that into an email and send it as an email. But again, if my students are on their phones, I'm going to create the event on my phone and just text it to them. Questions about that?
So does on our phone look like that?
On the phone, it looks like that. Schedule. And then on Androids, it follows this. I don't know about iPhones.
Okay.
That's definitely something I need to learn a lot more about.
Okay.
So how, if the students don't have the email, then how do we send the invite?
I'm planning on texting.
Oh, so we send it to you and then you send it to them?
Nope, you'll have your students' contact information. So you'll have their phone numbers, hopefully. So you can send it directly to them.
Oh, so like if my students don't have email, then I have to text it to them.
Yeah. Or if they use WhatsApp. I know some classes have created a WhatsApp group, and that's just where they post everything.
Okay.
Is that free or is there a charge for WhatsApp?
WhatsApp is free.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't used it ever really myself, but I'm gonna try and use it this summer. The students use it all the time. They know all about it. So I'm hoping they'll teach me about it.
I use WhatsApp. It's nice. Yeah. It's like
You can be our WhatsApp trainer.
good for international people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have a group that some are using computers and some are using their phone, would you text it from your phone and also email it from your computer,
I would.
the link?
It's a lot to think about. We're gonna, there are gonna be bumps. We're all gonna figure out what works for us and for the students.
So it seems like, can we just do it one time and they use the same one again and again?
What we've heard from the pilot teachers is that it's more effective to resend it every class.
Okay.
Because it serves as a little reminder of, hey, we have class, and also they don't have to dig through their texts or their emails to find it again.
Yeah, they probably have a lot.
Yeah. So we're just kind of setting everyone up for success by resending it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's walk through that again one more time. So on your Zoom app, click schedule, blah, blah, blah. Change these if you want to. Schedule down here. Copy invitation. And this is what you'll get. When you actually click copy invitation, you won't see anything. But this is what is on your, what do you call it? Clipboard. That when you click into your email and you paste, this is what you'll get.
Oh, so you only send this to the text, like only this page as a text.
If I were sending a text, I would only send the link and the password probably.
Okay.
I wouldn't send all this. That would be overwhelming. Good question. Okay. So your homework is, I'm going to show you the checklist in a second. Your homework is to create a personal Zoom account if you haven't already. Download the Zoom app, make an invite and share it with one or more people, friends or family or your book club or something like that. And experiment with the host functions in the meeting. So let me click over to the, oh wait, I'll do it from here. Let's look at the checklist. Are you seeing the Zoom skills checklist?
Yes.
Okay. So, over here. So in this column are the tasks. This is everything we talked about tonight. A little bit of a description about what it means. And then over here are links to pages or videos that can help you if you get confused while you're doing the task. So we have create your own account, download the app, schedule a meeting, share the invite, play with the participant list, mute someone, turn off someone's video, share your screen, and play with recording your meeting. Can you still see it? It says my screen sharing is paused.
No, I see it.
I can see it.
See it?
I can see it. I don't see your cursor though.
I didn't either.
Oh, okay. Weird. Oh, I must have clicked. Huh, that's weird.
There it is.
Now, can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure what I did.
I really appreciate the support.
Oh, good.
Thanks. That's so good. That probably took you a little bit of time.
A little bit. I copied someone else's.
Oh, well, thanks.
I adapted someone else's.
It's good.
Yeah. So this is your week 1 homework. And I will email that to you.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. So if you find yourself getting frustrated as you move through the checklist, those links can be helpful. Karen likes the image. I'm recording this and I'm going to put it on YouTube tonight. I'll include the link to it in the email so you can go back and watch this whole presentation and see how I walked through things. If you find that you need help with something that's not on the checklist, just Google Zoom tutorial, whatever you're looking for. They have tutorials for everything. They really have great customer support. And then if all of that fails, then send me an email and I will be happy to try and figure out how to help. Sound good?
Yeah.
So next, on tomorrow, I'll send out the RSVP for next week's trainings. Next week is stepping up a level. It's about facilitating with groups on Zoom. So we're going to look at screen share and breakout rooms. And we'll start to touch on how to lesson plan for groups on Zoom. And then the next week will be more about teaching. How do we accommodate diverse proficiency levels? How do we maximize student talk time, etc. So tonight's just the basics. Questions? Thank you for taking the plunge with us. Let me stop share so I can see you. Questions?
I do have a question.
Mhm.
A couple of questions. I know this. Oh, speaker view. Okay, so when you just switched us back to full screen, I do not have where I can see all the little participants, and I usually can. Oh, wait, now maybe gallery view. Okay, this time it came up, but before when you were doing all that, I didn't see gallery view.
Good question. That's because of the screen share. Screen share limits the number of participants you can see. So probably you were able to see 4.
Yes.
Yep. So that's the max number of people you can see when someone is screen sharing.
I see. Okay. That's one question. And then the other question is, I know that you can put a background up behind,
Yeah,
and I'm really interested in that.
sure. Let me see if I can figure out how to share my Zoom window. Portion of screen, yes. Okay. Can you see my Zoom controls? Or do you just see the thank you?
I just see thank you and my Zoom controls, the ones I have.
Okay. That's something I need to learn, is how do I share parts of my Zoom? Look down at the stop video in the bottom left of your screen. And
Okay.
there's a little carrot. There's a little arrow there.
Yeah.
Click the carrot
Okay.
and
Oh,
choose virtual background.
Okay, there we go. That's where it is. I didn't know where it was.
And when you get there, there are a couple stock ones, but if you want to add another one, click the plus, and then you can upload whatever you want. So here's mine.
I can't, but other people. That's good. Those are the kind of things I want. I don't really want my house.
Yeah, it's a good way. It's another way to maintain professionalism, if you care.
And I have a fan over my head, so it's good.
Yeah, and that way, you don't have to clean your house before you go on a Zoom call.
Exactly. All that. So, okay.
Fun to play with too. There are a lot of funny ones out there you can download.
It says my processor doesn't meet recommended specifications for virtual background. So
Yep, that's the case with slightly older computers. Jennifer can't do it either.
oh shoot, it says enable this feature anyway. So I can just do something. Okay. Oh,
See what happens.
no, it won't. It says, okay, never mind.
It does tend to slow down your connection. So when I have mine on, I tend to get glitchy.
Okay, so I won't do it.
Very nice, Karen.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I know how to change it from those stock ones, but I don't know how to get another image to do a background. Sheila said she would help me.
Okay,
Sheila always has good ones.
too bad.
What else? Other questions? Let's go back to our thing and let's see how we did with our objectives. Do you feel like you can identify the top 4 most important Zoom functions for hosting a meeting? Tell me one of them.
Mute, unmute.
Mute, unmute.
No. Stop the
Recording.
video.
Stop recording and stop video.
And screen share.
And screen share. And what else?
And the participants list.
The participants list, yes. Tell me a best practice for audio and video when you're hosting.
Mute everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mute everybody. What else? Don't put the camera up your nose. That's the other one. How do you feel about inviting participants? Thumbs up, thumbs down, middle?
And they're going to have Zoom downloaded and all that, right?
Hard to say. We have no idea.
If they don't speak much English, that's going to be next to impossible.
Yeah, we will have support for all of you on that.
Okay, good.
We'll figure that out. You all don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Do you feel like you can locate resources for independent practice? Great. I will send you that checklist and I'll send you a recording of the meeting once I get it up onto YouTube. And then I'll see you next week for week 2. Would you pause that? It makes things freeze. Hey Dan, will you pause that? It makes the computer freeze.
Is it fine?
It's okay. Am I back?
Yes.
Could the microwave makes Zoom freeze, and Dan is trying to microwave his dinner.
We're almost done.
Thanks. It was great to see you all.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. This is really
Don't hesitate
helpful.
to reach out with questions.
Thanks, Kate. Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
See
bye-bye.
you all.
Bye-bye.